to another review. My name is Daniel Gibson, and today we are talking about American Ultra. Now, this movie stars Jesse Eisenberg, Kristen Stewart, and Topher Grace. It's about a guy who is a stoner and, kind of a bum, in life, but all of a sudden gets awoken with the ability to be a dynamite spy and go out and kick butt, kinda, sorta. And so it's all about how the CIA is trying to remove him as an asset. They're trying to get rid of him. He doesn't know what's going on. He's got to learn how to get back in. So it's kind of an interesting premise. And the commercials, obviously part of it with the drugs and everything took me out of it, but I thought it was a really kind of fun premise. It kind of reminded me of a combination of a spy movie and Chuck, which was a TV series, if you watch that, where Chuck is kind of this guy who's got all this stuff implanted in his brain. He went and kicked butt. That's kind of what I thought this was going to be. I was kind of excited for it in that sense because I really enjoy this spy comedies. It's one of my favorite things, as I said in the Uncle review, actually. But so this movie, as I said, what it had going for it was, what the story was. It sounded interesting. That's not what I got from this movie, though. This movie was, while had a mild amount of action, wasn't what it appeared to be in the commercials. That's why I'm really glad we are reviewing this movie, and it's another one we kind of wrestled over what to do or not to do. But this movie seems much more lighthearted on the commercials than you actually get in the movie theater. This movie's a lot darker. I mean, there's a ton of cursing in this movie. There's not much sexual content, actually. But what you get is just this really dark comedy. It really is. Jesse Eisenberg is this guy who I kept wanting him to just click, and he's just this idiot in the movie, and I think that's part of what they're trying to give his charm is to be, but it was just oh my gosh, man, you get your act together. You're supposed to be a spy or something, and it was just kind of different and weird. The characters didn't mesh right. I mean, my biggest thing with the movie is, okay, the characters are supposed to be one way, and they're doing all these things that just don't make sense in the beginning, but on top of that, the CIA, what they're doing, doesn't make sense. And I understand, you go to a movie, you suspend belief. Totally get that. Totally understand it. My issue is, I can't suspend my belief this far. It's okay, I understand how the United States works, and I understand that this wouldn't happen. This doesn't make sense. And it literally was just every bit, you're just sitting there going, this does not make sense at all. This could not be. And I know I'm going on about this, but that's really where it pulled me out of this movie the most. Not only that, it was ridiculously gory. It was like the scene in Kingsman. If you saw that movie where there's lots of blood and gore, it was one tiny part. The entire movie's that way. Jesse Eisenberg's character is supposed to be this kind of delightful goof, but all of a sudden he turns to this dark character, and it's not just that he takes guys out. It's he doesn't just, once they're down, stop. He keeps going, and it's really brutal, and it's almost it's just too dark, I guess is what I mean to say. So, as far as this movie goes, this is not one to see in my book. Now, it's gonna get a 5 on our scale, because here's the problem with this movie. It's not as enjoyable as you would hope, but on top of that, there is so much other stuff. The cursing, the drugs in it, and on top of that, the over-the-top violence. That it's not just the part where okay, sometimes you can have gore, it makes sense, and this stuff, it didn't make sense. It was too much, it was too drastic, and it's just not something I think people need to see. I'm glad that we went and saw it, so hopefully you don't have to go see this movie or rent it with your family thinking it's going to be something it's not, because it is not necessarily what it appears on the commercials. So this movie, American Ultra, gets a thumbs down, no multiply media seal of approval. It's a no-go, it's a no-fly zone. So don't do it. Now, what are you gonna do this week? I know I ask this question a lot. I like to know in the comments down below, what's everybody gonna do instead this weekend? You got the new Hitman movie. We'll probably go see that and get a review up for it. But let me know in the comments down below what you think, what you're gonna do, your thoughts on everything. I want to hear it all down below. If you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that thumbs up button. Let us know. We appreciate everyone. Thank you guys. God bless, and I'll see you next time.